Carbon Tracker Initiative, we're a not-for-profit financial think tank set up about 5 years ago to look at the link between climate and climate change and risk and the world's financial markets. So Carbon Tracker, we're a team of analysts, of ex-Wall Street and City of London analysts that look at projects, particularly coal, oil and gas projects. And what we've been doing, we've been testing the business plans of the different oil companies and coal companies, looking at what projects they're trying to develop and whether they're needed in a 2 degrees world. And so we developed this idea of a carbon cost curve which looked at the break-even price of a project. So if you go into the Arctic or ultra-deep water, it's probably going to cost you $90, $80, $90, $100 a barrel to break even. And yet if the world's going to be using less oil prices are going to stay lower for longer. It's now around $45, $50 a barrel. There's a lot of projects out there that don't make sense either environmentally or financially. These are the projects which are likely to get stranded. And so we look at exactly which projects are probably going to have to go in this 2 degrees world. And so our analysis, we supply data to investors sort of saying, look, these companies are developing plans for projects which are really not going to be needed. The investors take our research and use it to engage with companies, to challenge company boards with their strategies, to work out the risks in their portfolios. So some companies, they can find oil and make money at $40 a barrel. If they can sell it at 50, they're in the money. But too many companies are really stuck with really expensive projects. They're the risky ones. Investors want to know that data, and that's where Carbon Tracker comes in. What shocked people is that companies like Google and Apple want to come into the car game, the transportation game. And if you think of it, all an electric vehicle is a laptop with 4 wheels on it. And the technology that obviously Silicon Valley is famous for is actually quite applicable to transportation solutions and energy solutions, energy management systems, energy storage. And Wall Street's waking up to that. And sort of the traditional combustion engine car is maybe people realize it's going to have its day and the world will move on. And it is a generational thing, but time is against us. I think probably we've got to be making these changes over the next 5-10 years if we're to address the worst threats of climate change. So there's a real sense of urgency now.
Do you think?
Carbon Tracker right now, what we're trying to do is stick on understanding the risks to the fossil fuel sector, and we published a paper just in the last week that looks at the levelized costs of energy. Well, what does that really mean? It's once you've factored all the different costs, what is the price of fossil fuels versus the price of renewables? And what we discovered is that actually renewables are a lot more competitive today than they've ever been, and will be competing and are competing against traditional fossil fuels. And certainly by 2020, around the world you'll be seeing solar and wind continuing to beat coal-fired power stations and even gas. And that's our latest piece of research, just to sort of shed light on the energy transition and why investors should be right on top of those risks.